Alright, so I'm actually trying to camp my... Yes, sure enough, the video pops up, so I'm going to stop it before it replays whatever I'm saying. Thought we will dance. It is a couple of minutes past 11 p.m. here in Malaysia, which makes it probably still a morning in Eastern Standard Time, and well into the afternoon for Europe. We are going to be using my Revenant again. I'm decided to try and shift my main from the Tomb Raiser to the Revenant because, well, I've been speaking to some people in the higher worlds and they say the Tomb Raisers have severe problems. Their pets just don't last very long, and since their damage comes from the pets, they have it's actually fairly difficult for them. Now, there's not actually anyone in Uber 6 right now, so this might be a very painful story about lag because we're about to go into Uber 7 without anyone to portal to rescue myself once I am stuck in a map block that doesn't load. So, truly, this is an MMORPG where friends are ever so important. What was the chat? World was empty before we all join. Everyone will need to run over. Actually, the world's still empty on my map. I don't know whether that's because... Debug text. Yes, it's because the ping is 1. There's actually stuff happening. I just can't see it. There we go. 4,000 ping, but now we're finally seeing people. And let's get game. Yeah, there's other people complaining that the map won't load. And as I've mentioned before, it's not because my connection sucks or anything. My connection's pretty good for Malaysia. Not saying, people in advanced countries will probably say the lag sucks badly. Actually, that depends. I've been in Canada, and there were certain areas that I was in. The audio seems really loud today. Did I mess with something? Look at all that rubber banding. Rubber band. Rubber band man. Is there a hero called Rubber Man? Sure there is. Some comic somewhere. Just don't know about it. Again, for those who have heard it before, Malaysia used to be the world's leading producer of... I've overshot the target. Go back, go back. Oh, made it back in. Truly, this is an episode about lag. And even though I got loot, I can't get there. Getting trolled, getting trolled. This wasn't the boss though. Even the glow has disappeared. Oh, I really should be keeping up with everyone to try and complete the challenge. Tekken lag! Woohoo! Woohoo! I would do my usual convert to what you call that, my dancing platform, and see the lag sends me right through. I don't know what happened there, but now I gotta try and get back, go the other way. Yes, this is like that earlier session where everything was everything's not awesome, but we'll say everything's awesome anyway. Whoa, smack into the half X. Load it up. I don't think I'm gonna make it for this one. Ooh, I am making it. It's actually barely loading. Oh, wait. Oh, fly into that. Oh, yes. That's not that lag. It's actually just loaded. That's not the edge of the world. Oh, wow. Rubber band fly. Zoom. That's too much mirth. I suppose it's a good thing I can laugh at all of this. I mean, you'd think, right, after countless hours, I mean, how many episodes are we at now? This is episode 19, right? And there are a lot of times when I don't stream the lag, and obviously all the lagginess that happened before I started streaming this. I suppose If I had started streaming earlier, I would be a lot more antagonistic about the lag I'm suffering. But because I've had time to have the lag mature, there's such a thing. I'm more zen about the whole situation with the lag. And the good news about one of the, I mean, usually the big dungeons aren't very good for me. You get stuck in them, you can't advance through them. But for that one, you know, the large and tall ones, like which are found in Dragonfire really. There's this and that. There's that castle version. They're not too bad because as you're going up through that, I mean, it's very vertical, and so when the block loads, you can move up and down in that. And because you spend a lot of time, or people spend a lot more time there going up the blocks rather than flying straight across, because not a lot of people stack jump. That time spent allows the map to catch up. You know, the lag of the map loading to catch up, and so I usually get a fairly good result for the map. I mean, for the dungeon right after, or at least traveling a bit, because it's had a chance to load. GG ping. I can't even stay afloat. Not sure why the lag induces you to fall. Or then again, at other times, I can just hover forever and just die. Okay, I've seen. Is it loaded? Can I go there? Oh no, it's actually behind me. It is loaded. I can't go there. Alright. Falling. No. Super lag. Whoop. Whatever that was. Zoom. Back up. Back down. Woohoo. What's happening? Who knows? The fun roller coaster ride. Okay, not quite fun. But, oh, and they completed it already. Dagnabbit. And I think, okay, we'll have to go east. Maybe one hiding to the northeast, but should we risk it? Beyblade's got a big buy. Everyone's going to the north. I'm going to go too. It's funny how this one little precipice is loading, and on my left is the void, and on my right is the void. Lag void. The Lavoid. Yeah, it doesn't sound very cool name. Agoid? Agvoid? Agvoid. Not quite the unknown. It's unknown to me, but you know, you can see where people are. There's all people, it's not dungeons. What made us decide to go northeast rather than straight east? What happens when you have crowdfunding is great. Crowd logic or crowd intelligence, not so much. So now I gotta navigate the dense forest of the dead. The dead forest dread. The dense dead forest of dread. And these trees are really tall. But I guess it's good. A nice big. So hopefully that's the desert one's got a lot of traveling version, so these aren't so good for me. I know other players like them because it's easy for them to navigate it. For me, not so much. Actually, I'm in the middle of it now. Oh, I just missed it again. Will I reach the other boss? It's not quite loading. But I didn't see the boss. I think I see it there, but low. No, I can still make it. I can still make it. Ow. This might be just exactly what I need. This is the last two I'll require for this challenge. And this is of course why it's a lot nicer coming to Uber 7 to do the challenges than Uber 6. Because you get more points. You get 15 per... No, wait, not 15. 75, 85. No, yeah, it was 15. 75, 85 to 90. And so, yeah, I didn't know where the boss was, but... Got magic fight from it. They're probably... Oh, they were. Didn't see their... I didn't see their outlines, though. Oh my goodness. This has been a failed broadcast because Portal Knights is on top and it causes Trove to not be shown. So, hmm. So only now are you seeing it. So that was an entire audio recording, no video, despite the incredible, well, what a waste. Didn't manage to record. Thank you very much, Solar Doggy, for pointing that out. Never would have realized. See, alright, I guess that's the reason why it always automatically pops out the video for you so that you know it's running and can see that it's running. Because what I did was I stopped it the moment it started to load because I had this problem where, it does that and you hear a strange echo a few seconds after as the stream replays back to me. But because I didn't do that this time, I was not aware that it was transmitting the wrong image. So I guess I'll have to live with that little... This might be part of the reason why people stream. Well, there's probably a setting somewhere. I mean, the reason, a lot of people use dual PCs. But there's probably a setting somewhere that that doesn't have, because right now this thing is recording full desktop audio. Whatever makes noise, you hear. Really, you hear everything that comes in, whether it's from Discord, whether it's from Mumble, Ventrilo, it's YouTube's playing in the background, alarms ringing. I probably need to change the audio to pick specific sources, like just the game only, for example. Then at least all of that won't happen, which I think a lot of streamers do. Some don't. Like some, you can hear everything they're saying in vent or chat, so you'll get, people in their guild who are complaining about people um, in their zone, and that comes totally unfiltered. So you'll be having a streamer being very polite and saying hi to everybody while their guild in the background on Ventrilo is like cussing them out. It's a strange thing when that happens. But yes, now everything's stabilized. There's no super lag anymore because I'm not with the Zerg anymore. So I guess episode 19 of A Story About Lag is a audiobook about lag. And I'm not sure if that's a lot better. No, actually it isn't. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like audiobooks and all. In fact, if you've ever heard of the company Graphic Audio, I strongly recommend any audiobooks done by them. Their tagline is a movie in your mind. Fantastic stuff to listen to on your commute to and back from work. Um, and I'll probably get another one of their audiobooks for my upcoming flight to Canada. I think it's 6 3/4 hours from Malaysia to Seoul, because I'm taking Korean Airlines, so that's where their terminal is. But then I'll change over to the flight that goes to Toronto, and that is another 13.5 hours. So we're talking about 20, slightly over 20 plus hours of flight time. This does not include stopover time, and you have to be at the airport 3 hours before for international flight, and of course the connection in between. So that's a lot of time, but it's not my longest. The longest I ever had was from Malaysia to Chile, Santiago. That one was over 29 hours flight time, and it wasn't just the flight time. It was that I made 4 hops, which is to say there were 3 stopovers. I went from Malaysia to Beijing, uh, Beijing to France, Paris de Gaulle. At that time, it was under construction. That was quite a thing. I had a 4-hour layover, and 3 hours of that 4 hours spent traveling between the different terminals because they hadn't completed it yet. There was a lot of construction, and it took an age to get from one place to another, and there was way too many security checks. And then from Paris to Buenos Aires, and then Buenos Aires to Santiago. So that was an interesting flight where on Friday. I mean, I got a chance to leave work early because I had to get to the airport. Uh, and then get to the airport. And I think I arrived like after midnight in Beijing, and had to spend 9 hours there because the next flight was in the morning. And at that time, I think Beijing airport wasn't quite as busy as it is now. It was pretty empty, kind of creepy and eerie back in the day. And then another couple of hours at Buenos Aires. Sorry, another couple of hours at Paris de Gaulle. Like I said, 4 hours, and I spent three of that moving from one terminal to the other. And then Buenos Aires was surprisingly pleasant. It's not a very modern airport, but it's a pleasant airport. Oh, maybe the loop's down here. I'm not seeing it. Oh, doesn't matter. So yeah, as I was saying, I left on a Friday afternoon, and I finally got to Santiago on a Sunday evening. Had a night's rest because by then you're dog tired. Um, and early Monday morning, the pickup was at 7:15 a.m. And the thing about these project things that I go for, I mean, this, a lot of people say, oh, you're lucky you get to travel so much and see other sites. No, this is for work. It's not a holiday. You don't get to see a whole lot of stuff. And because the work periods are very intense, it usually starts at breakfast. I meet the rest of my team. We discuss stuff over breakfast at the hotel. So that's our first meeting. And then, transport to location. And the program runs pretty much the whole day. You set up until the evening. And from there, the dinner meetings to wrap up, or the host might be hosting dinner for us, in which case it's always polite to show up and be there the entire period and make polite conversation. So you get back to the hotel and that's it. I mean, it's literally the whole day. I mean, people complain about 12-hour shifts. Well, this one is you wake up at 5 or so, get ready, show up for breakfast at 6. That's when your so-called workday starts. And it ends probably at about 10 or 11 p.m. the next day. I mean, what's that like? 18 hours? And you do the exact same thing for the whole week until you reach like Friday night or Saturday when you head off to the airport. Arrive back in Malaysia on a Sunday, and the very next day is work again. So it's like your weekends completely disappear. It's not one weekend, it's both weekends. They're just gone. Every time you have to do one of these trips. And that's for a 1-week program. I mean, the ones that are 2 or 3 weeks or a month long, well, those are probably a little less taxing because they're not as intense typically. And I've gotten ahead of myself. I'm just chatting and playing. I'm not even doing the challenge or anything anymore. Actually, did I even finish the challenge? I think I did. I remember that I did. And I'm actually soloing all of this as a Revenant, which is, Revenant is a very slow killer compared to all the other classes. It's not a very efficient way to go about things. So I guess we'll finish this nice giant dungeon once we've downed the 3-star boss, which is right ahead. I will end this half audiobook, half streamed video of A Story of Lag, episode 19. I don't know whether it should be called 18.5, 19. We'll just leave it at that. And of course, I'll see you on the next episode of Story About Lag. Well, and that will be a while because work called just before the stream. Well, a fair bit before while I was having dinner, really. And so I've got a lot of documents to prepare for them. I was planning to start on them, and then I noticed the challenge is a few minutes away, and so I logged in and decided to make this stream because That's one of my, the bad things about me. Any excuse to avoid working when I really should. That's why we do all of this, really. I think it helps control the stress of life. It's all just work. It's not too much fun. But I'll also say this: I find gaming a lot more pleasant when you have work to do. I mean, there were periods when I was unemployed, and I found I didn't game much because during those times, gaming was just boring. I don't know if any of you have been unemployed, but have you had the same? Was it the same thing for you? Was it somehow boring? Hello, Kuruska. I don't think I've seen you here before, and I don't have all those advanced bots set up that tell you when someone's there for the first time or anything like that. I've been meaning to do that, but every time, it's like, oh, I can like do work or work on the stream and set it up, but instead, no. I I play instead because it's a lot more fun to play. So, hi there, and you're in for the tail end because this is a story about lag, and I'm not lagging a lot right now. So we're actually gonna end it here. Yokomo 53. I'm guessing that's you, so I'll accept. I'm getting random accepts. And I actually need to stop playing and get back to work because I was supposed to get some work done and decided to do the challenge instead and got sidetracked. And, I need to hand out these documents. Well, technically tonight is going to be over in about half an hour, but um, over in Toronto, their workday is starting. So I definitely have to get this done before about 2, 3 a.m. Malaysian time because that'll be 2, 3 p.m. Toronto time and they leave work at about 4. So, I don't want to send my things in last minute. That used to happen when I was working. It annoys the bleep out of me. I really hate it when I'm about to leave for work at 5:45. I get an email that says this is the stuff and you have it ready for us by tomorrow morning for our morning meeting. And I'm like, oh, great. They send it to me at the end of the workday and tell it to have it ready before the start of their workday, which is the same as my workday in Malaysia. Which, of course, is telling me they want me to work through the night on it, which, I've already done a full day and now they're telling me, but the customer's always right, blah, blah, blah. So, anyway, we will have to call an end to the story of Lag episode 19. Thank you very much for being here, and for those who will be watching on YouTube, mostly will be watching on YouTube. This is the crazy guy who talks to himself most of the time, except this time when I apparently have at least 3 people in the stream viewing this. Don't know how I got them, but thank you, you're here. I'll see you the next story about lag.